Hello viewers, you find me in a very interesting place, which is not my violin studio where I do my violin tutorials for you guys. Now there's been a question on my mind for the last, I don't know, few months now, where this question has been asked for hundreds of years. But I'm going to attempt to answer this very question, but I have to get on this flight first, so join me. Welcome to Berlin, and I had a layover in Frankfurt, but now I'm in Berlin. So I'm going to be doing some sightseeing, and the reason why I'm in Berlin actually is because I'm going to be attending a conference called the Classical Next Conference. This is a classical music conference where people from all over the world, organizations from Australia, from Asia, from Europe, from the States are going to be at this conference. I'm going to be actually mentoring at this conference about YouTube, which is a very cool topic, and I'm looking forward to speaking about this very topic. But right now, I have one day of sightseeing available, so why don't you come sightsee with me? Guys, I just came across the most amazing thing in the world. I'm in a Volkswagen Museum right now. Take a look at this. There's one thing I love in addition to music and classical music. It's cars. You know, when you're in Berlin and you gotta go to the Brandenburg Bridge. Cue the music for Bach. Okay, so the next stop is, I actually had a few people tell me that I have to go to this landmark. It's called Checkpoint Charlie in Berlin. At the end of the Second World War, Germany was split up into two. Part of Germany was controlled by the Soviets, and then part of Germany was controlled by the West. So we're gonna take a look at this landmark and see what it's like.
And this is Checkpoint Charlie.
Now, to tell you the truth, I am no expert about Berlin. However, I'm noticing a few interesting things about Berlin's cultural and art scene and music scene just after just walking the city for the last few hours. What's really fascinating is that sometimes there are these little open museums that are open to the public on a Sunday. Like there's this big church that I just went to that I just came across randomly. You know, this church was destroyed during World War II. And after many, many years, they were finally able to get it restored and create a museum out of it. I think the States can actually learn a thing or two about that. Rather than turning churches into apartment complexes, either use them for what they're intended to do, for religious purposes, for Catholics, for Christians, or whatever, or you turn them into museums. Brilliant. And on the musical side, I'm seeing like a lot of posters for different concerts that are happening around the city. I think it's such a simple way to get the word out there. People are walking around Berlin. It's such a walkable city. People are on their bikes, on their scooters, or they're also just walking around on a beautiful day like today. At the same time, people are just going to be walking by, and that's like one little simple thing that arts organizations can do, which is just partner with local businesses, maybe a restaurant. Just say, hey, we'll pay this much for advertising to have this poster in front of your restaurant. And that could be partially your clientele base going into concerts. Just an idea. So this is what I'm talking about, folks. So like you see all of these signs in front of a cathedral, which is one of the biggest Berlin cathedrals I've ever seen in my life. But this is such a simple way to get the word out for classical music. I don't see why we can't do that for classical music when we see this doing all the time for rock bands and hip hop artists. But I make time for lunch now, so I'm gonna go back to Alexanderplatz and I'm gonna go eat something. And I'm really hungry, so I'm gonna eat something really big, maybe preferably with a beer. Okay, so now it's time to eat. I got myself some really good food, which I'll show you in a moment, but check how much I've walked. 15,000 steps. I'm tired to say the least, and I'm hungry, and I'm glad I'm gonna be eating in a second. Exactly what I need. How they do it in Deutschland? Oh, I am pooped. That was a lot of walking. So I hope you got to experience a little bit of Berlin with me. And this is the view from the room. Nice room from the 24th floor. And yeah, so this is not just one video, guys. So this is actually going to be a multiple video series. So make sure you stick around, subscribe to the channel, so that way you get the update for the upcoming videos regarding the conference. All right. So again, the big question of the conference is classical music dead? We'll find out. See you in the next video.